Hey guys, it's Mike, your host of Craft Beer Storm. And it's Monday. That means we do our 360 beer. We interview brewers, movers and shakers, restaurants. And today we are interviewing Nicole Wentworth, and she's a bar manager at Popovers On The Square in Epping. And they also have a location in Portsmouth. They're making delicious food. Popovers are like a pastry, and they're just built a whole business around it, but they're delicious. And a lot of good stuff being made there. There's a chef and another individual who is owning the Popovers, and Nicole goes into the whole thing. So let's go. Hey, it's Mike. We're here with Nicole Wentworth. She is the bar manager for Popovers On The Square. How are you doing, Nicole?
I'm great, Mike. How are you?
I'm doing okay, and I wanted to have you on the podcast. I offer it to our customers. You take our kegs, very nice.
I appreciate it. Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
You have excellent food. Now you have excellent beer on tap.
We like to keep it local.
Yeah, local is awesome. And you want I'd come on the podcast. You said, yeah, I think that'd be an awesome idea, and yeah, I just love to talk to managers in restaurants, and I like the food, but they have really good food at Popovers as well. Every time I go there and have a meal, it's delicious.
Yeah, thank you. We do.
It's good stuff.
We just rolled our new spring and summer menu out too, so we got a few new items, sort of seasonal stuff that we put on there each season. We change it out every fall and winter, and then spring and summer. So It's been highly received so far.
Cool. Now, let's talk about you. Tell me a little bit about yourself, like your history with beer and where you came from and where you're going. And I know you're the bar manager.
So I started in the restaurant industry when I was 14. That was about 24 years ago, not to age myself. And then I started bartending shortly after, because that's where I noticed the money was at. So I've been bartending for 20 years. I started at a nightclub, which is funny, and they had put me through a training down in Miami. And from there, I sort of just jumped around, not jumped like purposely, but because I would move for college, I'd move back home from college. So I kind of jumped from place to place here and there based on where I was moving. So I've worked and bartended in New York, Arizona, California, over here in New Hampshire. And now I'm here, and I've been here at Popovers. So it'll be almost 5 years this fall. And it's a great little spot. I really like it here.
Oh, cool.
And I'm trying to think. So I took this position because one of the prior bar managers had actually found me and reached me out and said, hey, this is a great little spot. I have kids now. So he said, this is a nice little place that closes, earlier than your typical nightclub or the kind of rowdy bar scene. It's very family friendly here. So it was I just thought it was the right move, and it has been so far.
Cool. Now, were you always in the area? I think you mentioned, or did you come in from?
Well, yeah, I've been all over. I originally was from Winnipesaukee, so I had worked up that way at, say, Nazwa, which I know a lot of people are familiar with that. On Lake Winnipesaukee, I bartended there for years. I've worked at a few places up there, at Canoe and Eloquer Bar and Grill, and then when I moved out west, I had worked at a few places out there, and then when I moved back to the East Coast, I was in Massachusetts. And once I had my daughter, I decided it made sense to be closer to family, so that's when I moved to New Hampshire, and I moved to Exeter originally first, and that was actually when I got the job here. So that as soon as I moved to New Hampshire, this was kind of my spot that I started with, and I've been here ever since.
All right, cool. So you're kind of local, yeah. That's awesome. So, I got you on. I like Popovers, and they have two locations, I think. One in Epping, Popovers On The Square, and there's another one in Portsmouth. And even that one, I mean, whenever I go there and eat there, it's awesome, too. Because there's a lot of good, I think there's a chef involved. Or who are the owners for Popovers?
So we actually have two. We have John Tinios, and then we also have Chef Stephen James. And so they both own the two Popovers, but we also have our commissary, which is in Hampton. And that's where really all of our baked goods come out of there. But it's a little interesting because the commissary that we do have, which we have those three combined, John Tinios also has a couple of his separate restaurants, which is the Galley Hatch in Hampton. A lot of people are familiar with that. It's been around for a lot of years. That's been around since 1970.
Actually, I was there last night. I went to
no kidding.
I went to go meet somebody there. They have that cafe there.
Yeah, that's Case Cafe.
I met somebody there because they're doing a fundraiser for it's the Portsmouth Maritime Commission. They put kids on ships, and then the ships go out for a month, and then they train them how to do stuff. These are like underprivileged kids, so it's pretty cool. But they're doing a brew fest on that, so we were kind of scheming. Nice. But that's a nice place, Galley Hatch. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really It's kind of like the little. I live right down the road from there, so that could be dangerous.
Oh, you do? Okay.
So then, so you have the Galley Hatch, which also has the Case Kitchen attached. And then now it also has, which opened in 2015, Tinios, which is sort of a Greek-inspired it's a really cool little restaurant. It has this nice big giant fire pit up there. It's great for having appetizers and cocktails, and they run all kinds of little events up there too. And then they also have Grill 28, which is out of Pease Golf Course. So our commissary bakes for all of these restaurants, which is our commissary.
So that's awesome. So they make all the baked goods there in Hampton.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. Yeah, some baked goods are cooked in-house. What we have here at our location, we bake all of our own breakfast pastries. We do our own cookies. We do a lot of cake decorating, but the main pastries and cakes come out of our commissary, which is in Hampton.
And the popovers they serve with meals and stuff like that. But who came up with that? Did they?
Well, okay, so actually one of the owners, Chef Steve James, that's his recipe, and that was something that if you've ever had our popovers, they're incredible. I've never even heard of a popover until I actually started working here, which is kind of funny. And so this was the first one I ever had, and so I couldn't compare it with anything else. And then, of course, since I've had it here, I've gone other places and had them, and I'm like, wow, this does not compare to our popovers. Ours are they just melt in your mouth.
They're delicious.
The pastry.
Yeah.
It's an egg-based pastry, and really the only ingredients are just flour, egg, sugar, and a little bit of salt, butter, and that's pretty much it.
My God, it's so simple but so good.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right. Delicious. Yeah, those probably pair well with beer.
Oh, for sure.
I think this is something. Maybe you are onto something.
Yeah,
do like
absolutely.
A food pair with popovers and beer. But getting back to food pairings, I think you do on your menus, or you offer, you make suggestions, I guess, for people between beer and wine and food pairings.
We do, yeah. So we have weekly and weekend specials, and with the items that we place on there, we'll do, like you said, beer and wine pairings. And it's honestly, at first I was like, oh, I wonder if it'll catch on, but really people will look at it and say, oh, wow, okay, yeah, I'll try that beer. If it says it's going to pair well, then absolutely. And so it has worked out really well for us. And it's nice to just say, oh, we have a porter on draft right now, and that'll pair really well with, let's just say, some sort of our steak. We have a New York sirloin, and we pair really well with that. Something that's kind of a little heavier and goes well with the porter, or even say like an IPA or something lighter like that, or even like a session IPA might pair well with a dessert. Some people, they like to get a beer with a dessert.
Well, we make our cake. I don't know if you had that on tap. Did you have that? The Oreo infused Java porter.
Right now.
Oh, you have it. Okay, great. You know that you can serve with a scoop of vanilla ice cream.
Oh, for sure.
And make a beer float, like while the kids are eating their cookies and stuff and brownies. That's an adult dessert.
Yeah, absolutely.
I do it here in the tap room. People love it. I give them a spoon.
Do you?
Yeah, I give them a spoon. They're crazy. They love it.
That's so fun.
So. Yeah, that's great. So what kind of beer do you see you're selling there at Popovers? Like what's popular?
We definitely, people come in. We're at a great little location. So we're right off the 101, and we get a lot of traffic that goes not only east to west or west to east, but north and south. We get a lot of traffic that crosses past us. So we get a lot of people that aren't even from the Epping area. And anytime someone comes in, I always get the same question: what do you have that's local? And typically I'm like, oh, well, I try to bring everything that's local. I think people really like the idea of this whole, microbreweries and the craft beer industry, and they really want to try something new that they haven't seen before. And a lot of the microbrewers and the craft breweries, they're not, some want to stay small. They like to keep it, literally local so that people can come to you to get a beer. or to try, something new, as opposed to kind of turning into what do they call it? Like the big breweries, the big large, distributions. You can't get them all over the place. So it's nice to have the local breweries so that for me, I'm thinking, I want them to come to my restaurants. They get to have something they haven't had somewhere else. But it also helps with the small breweries, because you're taking in their product and getting the word and the name out there for people to recognize.
Yeah. I mean, everybody, and you're like on 101 is a big east to west highway,
right.
That connects like Manchester and Portsmouth, and a lot of people drive on it. But same thing with, we did the British Beer Company. I interviewed her, and she said, because Manchester Airport's really close to there. So people just come in, they land, and they're in a hotel. I just want something local. Give me something local.
Right.
So a lot of people want to know, what's happening in the area, the local brews. And I think that's where it's trending. Everybody's trending toward local beer.
Oh, for sure. And definitely IPA it's crazy how many IPAs. That's definitely the number one type of craft beer that we sell. I'm thinking that's a lot of places too. IPAs are killing it right now.
They are. They're all, and I think, as people drink IPAs, and then people are going to come off of these watery beers and then try an IPA, and they're like, oh my God, this is awesome. I think it's just going to continue and continue. It'll probably be the front runner. But there are trending. I went to the Craft Brewers Conference, and it seems like they did the chief economist, and he was like, people are trending towards more like lagers, pilsners, and maybe even dark beers too.
For sure.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I get a lot of people, even in the middle of summer. I still get a lot of guests that come in, and I always keep one dark beer on my draft. I don't have a lot of draft lines. We have 8. We just don't have the space to, unfortunately, add more. But I always try to keep all different types of beer on my lines, just so I can sort of, please everyone's palate, I guess you'd say. And I always have people asking for the darker beers, even in the middle of summer. So I try to keep a porter or a stout or a brown ale, something that's just a little on the darker side.
Yeah, I think dark beer you can drink year round, I mean, it's very flavorful, and just people get scared because they see it's dark. But I'm trying to educate people as well. Like, we do beer style every Wednesday. We do like beer styles, and we talk about we take the Great American Beer Festival list, and we just go down it, and I pick a different style every week, and then we just explode it, and the grains in it, the color, or the hops, what glass to serve it in, examples of the style, just to educate people that there's so many different types of beer rather than the watery lagers, and also IPAs. Everybody's like, "Oh, give me your IPA." Like, they don't even know what they want. Really, just say, "Give me an IPA." So, but
yeah, it's kind of cool. A lot of places they'll do the little samples, so at least you get a little idea of what each one tastes like if you haven't really gone that route before. If you're so used to, say, like the light beers that are, like you said, watered down.
That's a great idea. Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice to do little samples so you can try.
Do you do flights up there? Or no.
So we're on the fence. Not that I'm on the fence. We haven't gotten there yet. Not to say that we won't, but I haven't gotten there yet. It was funny because I was up in the air like, what do I want to do? Beer flights? Do I want to do like mimosa flights or something? Because we are a very big breakfast. We're very busy for breakfast. So it was definitely something we've been talking about it, but I have not decided yet what we're going to do.
I think, Friendly Toast does the mimosa thing.
What did you say?
Friendly Toast here in
Oh, yeah.
In Portsmouth. You should check them out. Yeah, they do. I went in there like on a Sunday. They're like, it's a mimosa flight. And I'm like, what?
I know. I haven't been there in years. So I haven't been there since they started that, but I heard about it.
Yeah, they're doing good. They take our beer too, which is good.
Oh, nice.
But that's interesting. I got to go in there and try a flight of those. But it is interesting regarding the local trends, and there's also local ingredients that go into beer. I mean, do you have any ideas of that, or have you heard anything about other brewers and what they're using?
So I do a lot of brewery tours. Not a lot, but I do my fair share. And, when they're talking about what things they've been adding, I'm finding they're definitely adding a lot of new, not only ingredients, but the way that they're, I guess, not bottling it, but not brewing it. What's the word? When you it's when it sits in the barrels. There's just different ways that they're going about all this stuff.
When you age it or condition it or something, yeah.
Yeah, whatever they're doing. I mean, it's a great concept because not only is it adding all these fun flavors, but they're able to reach out to the small local sort of farms or mom and pop shops, and it's kind of everyone helping everyone. You know, everyone's striving because everyone's able to, you know, buy and sell to each other, and it's just nice to have fresh, local, healthy ingredients. I mean, there's so many people right now on these health kicks or these new diets, and it's kind of nice to let people know, oh yeah, we've got these local ingredients in here that you would never think that would even go into beer. Like you have your cake, and it's crazy. When you first told me, oh yeah, I have this Oreo cookie infused, cake, and I was like, what? And it's just a fun little concept. It's just fun that you're able to even do that.
Yeah. I mean, you can add anything to beer if it's food, right?
Right.
And it worked. We also use local coffee from D Square Java, so that's another local thing we do.
Yep.
So we'll take like 3 gallons of their coffee and add it to about 200 gallons, and then we'll take 30 pounds of Oreo double stuffed cookies and puree them and add them in, and it's a great mix. But I like we also use some local honey. I haven't made it in a while, but I made a honey brown with some local honey here from Portsmouth, CB honey, which is excellent. And then a maple wheat beer with some maple syrup from Barrington.
Oh, fun.
Spring Harvest Maple Farm. Yeah, really good stuff. So it's all delicious, local. It's really good.
Right.
Mm. Good stuff. Good stuff.
It is fun concept.
Yeah. So, So, why do you think people should drink a local craft beer? We talk about a lot of local ingredients, and instead of getting some mass-produced beer or something they don't know about. I mean, what are the benefits of people just kind of?
I feel like just I have a lot of guests that come in here, and I have a lot of regulars, and I talk to a lot of people, and just talking to them about beer. A lot of them, of course, the first number one thing they say is it tastes so much better. It's like, oh, it has so much better flavor. I mean, that's without question, hands down. It is fun that they have different ingredients involved. Like I said, a lot of healthy ingredients, local ingredients. A lot of people, they'll kind of go into it has a higher alcohol content. I mean, not always, but yeah, that's the case too. It does have a higher alcohol content typically, which a lot of people, they like that. And also, there's a lot of work that's involved with making a craft beer. I feel like when you're purchasing it, it's like, oh yeah, I'm giving back to someone that's, really puts their heart and soul into making the beer. I don't think people, when you do a craft brewery, you don't just get into it just for the fun. It is, but you love that, so you put everything into it, and it's nice to know that when you're buying it, it's because someone really genuinely loves doing that. That's kind of neat too.
Yeah.
But I've also read that there's a lot of more nutrients in the craft beers than say like a light domestic, beer.
Well, what's going in it, right? I mean, it's all local stuff, and somebody locally is making it from good ingredients, and there's no junk in it, and it's fresh. You know where it's coming from. I mean, the brewery's right there, and it doesn't sit in a truck for a week or who knows, Lord knows what happened to it. The light, the heat. You don't know if it's been in a furnace or something, like some kind of hot environment, and it destroys the beer. So that it's local, and they do put a lot of passion into it. I whenever I do beer, it just makes me very happy to see people drink it, and they're like, "Oh man, this is awesome!" It's like because I created it.
Yeah, exactly.
I do the CPA thing. I've done that for a long time, my audit thing, and it's not good. People don't want you there; they just don't want you around. So I use the beer to balance it, but I'd rather do the beer. Well, that's why I do this podcast too. I'm trying to grow it and enter into the craft beer arena, and it is growing, and just trying to help others out and make people more aware of craft beer and
oh yeah, for sure. And I mean, people that come in, they see that they see your tapper on the draft lines. I'm gonna try one of those. I feel like you're doing a pretty good job of getting your word out there, because a lot of people know your beer, and so I hadn't heard of it until too long ago, just because there's so many that you don't know all of them, and a lot of people knew about it, so that was
that's
exciting.
Great. Yeah. It's just you got to get out there, and you help us as well when you have it on tap. People don't know about us, and they try it, and they're like, oh, wow, this is great. Where are they? And then they come into the tap room. So it helps, both ways, so, yeah. Well, awesome. Yeah. So if people want have questions for you or anything, how can they get a hold of you or get into Popovers and try some awesome food?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, come on over here. We're we're right in Epping. We're off the highway. We're right next to the movie theater that's in that shopping complex. That's right on Brickyard Square. And I'm here full time. You'll see me most nights of the week or weekends. I'm here all weekends. And we have a great menu. You can find us online. We do have a website, just popoversonthesquare.com. We do have a Facebook page, which is Popovers at Brickyard Square. We are affiliated with Takeout Guys. So if you weren't able to get over here, you can just contact Takeout Guys. They can deliver to you directly. So
that's awesome. I've been there, and the food is delicious, and you have great beer on tap.
Yeah, try the Popovers.
Yeah, and the Popovers do the beer and popover thing. Do like a food pairing.
We have happy hour. So if you want, people want to pop in, it's during the week, Monday through Thursday. We do a happy hour. Monday's all day happy hour, actually. So you can get any of our draft beers $2 off, which is great.
Wow.
Some nice little savings. And then Fridays we have live music.
Cool.
6 to 9, and then on Wednesdays we do an amazing trivia. We have this guy, his name's Brian, and it's always packed, it's always busy, everyone has so much fun. We run specials during trivia, and we do all kinds of little fun stuff over here.
And you have an outdoor area there, which is really nice.
We do, yeah. We have we just actually got it's fully covered, and it's enclosed, but it has sort of the roll-up windows on the side, so it's sunny and nice and warm. We can open it all up, and you get a nice breeze. And we fully covered it as of last year, and it's been doing fantastic for us. Sometimes, once a month in the summer, we do live music out there, which is kind of fun because you can hear it in the parking lot, and people, oh, what's that? What's that over there? We hear reggae out there. So that adds a little extra seating.
Right. I was there. Yeah, I was there for dinner, and then you had the reggae guy out.
What'd you say?
You had like a steel, what is it? Steel drum player?
Steel drums. Mr. Hot Pepper.
That's cool.
Yeah.
It was
a great job.
But all right, Nicole, I appreciate you coming on and this, talking about your awesome restaurant and making delicious food, and your beer selection is great. And I look forward to working with you. Probably do like a popover takeover, maybe call it that. Popover takeover. There you go. Hey, so listen, I appreciate you being on, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right, excellent. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was Nicole Wentworth. She's the bar manager of Popovers on the Square. They carry our beer, which is excellent, and I offer this to all the restaurants and bars that carry our beer in New Hampshire. Hey, come on the podcast. Let's talk about beer trends. Your history and food pairings, which is awesome. Trying to do popover takeover. You have some beers on tap and get some popovers, you'll be all set. But Nicole and Popovers is doing some good stuff with food. Every time I go in there, it's just delicious food. If you're in the New Hampshire area, Epping and Portsmouth, fantastic stuff. So go in and grab some and get some awesome beer too, and they have us on tap, so that's cool. And if you like what you hear, you like our podcast, please go on iTunes, give us a rating, give us a review, tell a friend, tell 10 friends that you heard this awesome podcast. And there's this guy on he's a brewer in New Hampshire, and he's interviewing all kinds of brewers and heavy duty guys. And Wednesdays we do beer style, so we go down the Great American Beer Festival list. On Wednesday we pick a different style. We go over the grains that are involved in it, color, hoppiness, body, aroma, what kind of glass to serve it in, and also examples of the style, because there are many, many, many more styles than just lagers and IPAs. It's about 102 according to the GABF, and then they have subcategories in each one. So that's pretty cool. And then Fridays we do craft brew news, so we take the latest news of the week and we just expand it and, get into it. And the soap opera called Craft Beer. Lots of stuff happening, but it keeps the blood moving, which is what we like. And life is like a heartbeat. It goes up and down. If you flat line, you're dead. Just remember that. Okay, that is our show for today. And we will catch you on Wednesday with Beer Styles. Take care.